plaintiff, Gwen Hunergard, says the defendant was her son's live-in nanny, and Gwen considered her part of the family. Gwen says she appreciated the defendant's outspoken personality, but she's suing her today for a loan, interest, and late fees. Defendant Herlinda Gamez cannot believe Gwen is suing her today, considering the fact that Herlinda worked as her nanny, housekeeper, and chauffeur, and she even donated her eggs to help Gwen have another baby. She's countersuing Gwen for harassment.
All right, and you're suing your former nanny for $4,450 for an unpaid loan, interest, and late fees?
Yes.
And you're countersuing for $1,000 for harassment?
Yes.
All right, you say this is your former nanny?
Yes, she was my...
When you were a baby or when? She doesn't look that old.
No, she was my live-in nanny for my son.
For your son?
Yes,
okay.
From 1994 to 2002. She took care of my son. He was, I think, 1.5 years old and did everything for us.
Okay.
She was part of the family.
Let me ask you, because I'm always interested in knowing this. What's the difference between a nanny and a babysitter?
I don't know.
Titles? Yes, ma'am, you tell me.
Well, a nanny is someone who is fully committed and is
Well, babysitters aren't?
Well, no, fully committed and like the time-wise, Your Honor, time-wise.
Pardon?
Meaning time-wise. I was there 24 hours living there, which a babysitter, you can hire her for to do their duties for 3 hours. It's just a difference, that's all.
Okay, so all those folks who only take the child to school, pick the child up, and care for the child until the parent comes home, they're not nannies, they're babysitters.
Yes.
I need to talk to all that. I need to tell all them folks, still in your title. You ain't no nanny, you're a babysitter. Those folks who only take the child to school, pick the child up, and care for the child until the parent comes home, they're not nannies, they're babysitters.
Yes.
I need to talk to all that. I need to tell all them folks, still in your title. You ain't no nanny, you're a babysitter.
Defendant Herlinda Gamez says she worked as the plaintiff's live-in nanny for 8 years. And while there, she donated her eggs to the plaintiff to help her conceive another child.
You had a nanny that lived with you?
And she was with us for 8 years. And we have remained friends. After 8 years, she left to raise her own children and then get married. So I know that I value her friendship, and I'm sorry that, this situation has occurred.
It's the only time you all have fallen out?
A bit, just a bit. But I know that Linda's very outspoken, and she will speak her mind. A couple of examples are, I would come down for work, all dressed, ready to go, and she would look at me and she goes, "Oh my gosh, you look awful. Go back upstairs and change." So, I would, back my way back up to the room and get changed.
That's nice of her.
Yeah.
Unless you disagreed, unless you found it insulting.
Well, I figured she must see something I don't see. And then another memory that I have that was, she was pretty outspoken, is when she was really sick, and her boyfriend, Lee, who is now her husband, he came over to bring her flowers, and he had the little flowers and knocked on her bedroom door, and all I heard was, "I hate yellow flowers," and she threw them at him, and he ran out of the house.
No
and
flowers,
I didn't see
she
him.
wanted medicine. Coming in with some medicine or something she ain't supposed to eat.
I have no idea, but she doesn't like yellow
Coming
flowers.
in with some fried food, right? Doctor told you not to have any. If you're gonna come in here, bring me something the doctor told me I'm not supposed to have.
You're right.
Thank you. No
But
flowers.
I think,
medicine or fried chicken, one of those.
Yes. Oh, you're so right. Yes.
I think she's outspoken, which is part of who she is as her personality.
All right, and you tell me about your experience keeping the child and working for Miss Gwen.
Well, like I said, very happy. I worked for her for 8 years, but I say, how dare she bringing me to this court for a $1,000 loan, which is outrageous to me. How dare she doing this to me now? When I worked for her 8 years, I was not only her nanny, I was her chauffeur, I was her housekeeper, I was someone who took her son to school, take care of him long hours, never complained, happy to do it again. Not only that, I was also a friend who donated my eggs for her to be able to conceive another child, which, by the way, she got pregnant of twins, and unfortunately, she lost them, you know, and it was sad. When she went to divorce, I was with her as well. Yeah, I left for like several years to raise my own family, but when she went back into divorce, I was there as her friend, as someone who loved her and support her dearly. That's why I got very upset. And I knew about my loan with her, but I got very upset when she called my husband and got him involved in a deal that it was only between the two of us.
And you say 1,000. She's suing you for
Oh, yes.
4,500.
Absolutely. Yes.
Ma'am, you tell me about the loan. Or...
We have a contract. In July of 2018, she called me up and asked me if she could borrow some money so that she could get a car, and she was asking for $1,750, and I'm on a fixed income, so I couldn't loan her the full amount, and she said that I was the only person that she could borrow money from, that no one else would lend her money. She said she was going to ask Lee if he would maybe give her some, so I did loan her $1,000. We had a contract.
You see it.
Okay.
Yes.
And that was when? 18?
That was in July of 2018. If you look at the agreement, it's an additional $200 interest charge. And then if one installment of $600 was due on October 28th, 2018, and another $600, the final installment was due November 28th,
None of
2018.
none of that adds up to $4,450.
So the last two sentences of the contract, if the payment was late for either installment, there'd be a $5 charge per day. And so if she hasn't made any effort to pay one penny. And I needed that money to, by the end of the year.
So what percent interest is that per year?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, well, you should have known because this is illegal. This is what they call usury. That's even before you get to the late fees. That's what we call in the law unconscionable. You can have a contract, but the contract can be so one-sided and unfair that it's unenforceable in the law. And that's what I'm concluding, that this is unenforceable. This is an unconscionable, unfair contract. The late fee should perhaps be about $50 a month, something of that nature, not $5 a day. Also, the interest rate should not go beyond a consumer loan, and that would be about 10%.
Defendant Herlinda Gamez says she worked as the plaintiff's live-in nanny for 8 years. And while there, she donated her eggs to the plaintiff to help her conceive another child.
What do you say about repaying, though, and then the harassment? You agree you owe, but just not the amount of interest and late fees. Okay.
Exactly. Yes,
what
sir.
about your counterclaim for harassment?
Yeah, there was no need to call my husband. She knew that I was going through separation, and she dared to call him.
I would like to say that Linda has talked about being separated from Lee many, many times, and I did not know that it was official. I did call Lee.
Yes, you knew.
Because I had texted her, I had emailed her, I had called her, and she did not respond in August. And I called Lee to find out if she was okay, what had happened, because now it's been over a year that I loaned her the money. And, you know, I love Linda. And, you know, I'm sad that, I loaned her money.
What is it you want to show me?
I would like to show you an evidence, Your Honor, that she knew very clearly, because she was on address at my house.
All right.
When
Well, first of all, ma'am, you're suing her for something she advised your husband about you. Well, you know, you've
Yes.
been full of advice about her personal life for a long time, remember?
Yes.
You even told her what you think she should wear.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
let's get away from that, because she telling your husband that you should get your house in order regarding owing you money. And so I'm not going to grant you a harassment claim for that. I will grant you, ma'am, $50 a month on late fees. Grant you $2,050, ma'am. Your claim is dismissed. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I did not tell Lee to leave her. That was one of the allegations that she made just this last week or month. I did not say that.
I don't think it was right for her to call my husband you know, when she knew that I was going through separation, when I was her full support, when she was going through divorce, that what makes it like not okay.
I only called him because apparently she had me blocked and was not returning phone calls, emails, or text messages. I only called him one time.
Yeah, and you text him plenty of
Yeah, we
times
did.
after that. So then please, shut it.
I hope that we can be friends and just move on from this. And I know I'll never lend anybody money ever, ever, ever again. I've learned a really hard lesson.
Lesson learned. Never want to try to go to desperation situations again.
Plaintiff Shane Withrow dated the defendant, and while on vacation, the defendant disappeared from their hotel room, and Shane found him in the hotel ballroom finishing up a sexual act on another man. Shane suing his ex for a loan and an insurance payment. Defendant Stephen Caladecker says he stays friends with most of his exes, but Shane did not like that, and he got angry after he overheard Stephen express his platonic love for an ex. Stephen's countersuing for living expenses.
All right, and sir, you're suing your former fiance for $3,378 for an unpaid loan and insurance payment,
Yes, sir.
and you're countersuing for $3,000 for living expenses.
Yes, Your Honor.
Start with you.
I met Stephen around September 2009. Stephen is actually kind of rather dramatic, but that was part of the thing.
Part of the thing, what?
Like,
you were attracted to?
yeah.
You like drama kings?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Um,
What does that do for you?
makes me laugh.
Oh, okay, as entertainment.
Yeah.
All right.
On our first date, he actually dislocated his jaw trying to do a dance move.
Doing what? Trying to do a dance move? Okay.
So we spent the rest of the date in the ER. So,
We'll get some background from you, sir, why he gets it together.
Thank you. I met Shane, and when we met, things were good. He was a very, very sweet guy.
And you had a sense of humor. And
He had a sense of humor. I had a sense of humor. I couldn't dance. That's just I can't dance. It's obvious. But things were very, very good when we first met. Things didn't always stay that way.
What were the challenges?
The challenges were, after we moved in together, there was a lot of emotional and mental abuse.
By him?
By him. And things got physical from time to time. There was an incident.
You say a lot of it. What do you attribute it to?
I think there was kind of a disconnect between us. My sense of humor,
He said that's what he liked about you.
Yeah, but I don't think he liked that much.
You went too far sometimes.
I did. However, I tried to keep it real. There was an incident where we went to New York. We were celebrating Christmas, so we wanted to go to Niagara Falls. Things had kind of fallen apart, so to speak. So we went to kind of rekindle. I stay friends with most of my exes, and my one ex contacted me while we were in Niagara Falls in New York to wish me a Merry Christmas. And at the end of the conversation, I said, I love you. It was nothing over the top. I love you. Like, I want to be with you.
What more can you say to express? Isn't that the highest level?
It is.
Of intimacy? And it could be, I think the highest level is, and Martin Luther King said this. He said there's 3 types of love. There's romantic love, there's family and friends love, and then there's selfless love. And he said the highest level of love is a selfless love. And that's the type of love you're expressing for the guy. He wasn't trying to get romantic with the guy. It wasn't the romantic love. It was selfless love. He was saying to the man, I love you because I want you to feel good today. And I shouldn't be saying this because my boyfriend is listening. But I got to express it because it's the highest form of love.
Yes.
That's what he was doing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Defendant Stephen Kaladecker is being sued by his ex, who claims once while on vacation, he walked into the hotel ballroom and caught Stephen finishing up a sex act on another man.
Go ahead.
Well, one of the reasons that I felt that way is because in 2010, we were on vacation, and he said we were at a hotel room, and he said he was going to go down the hall and get some ice. Well, a while had passed, and I was wondering, okay, where's the ice? And I went looking for him, and I found him finishing up a sexual favor with somebody in the ballroom. And the bad part about all of this, he never brought the ice to the room.
That ice melted, doctor.
Yeah. That's great.
And how did you react? What happened? Tell me the end of the story. We all want to know the end of the story. He came back.
I was very hurt.
What'd you say?
I was speechless for a little bit because
When you did get your breath back, what did you say?
I said, don't I make you happy? I mean, what can you say? But we worked through it, and
That's pretty rough.
yeah. But I'm a very kind-hearted person.
Okay. He says you were verbally abusive, and did you say
no.
physical time or two?
There were times.
All right. You don't agree with that?
Well, when you get time after
You all
time,
slow about talking. I believe there's something going on here that I don't know about and you're trying to keep from. Who's violent? Somebody's either violent or they're stealing or they're a dope addict. Being too careful with your words. All right, sir. Tell me what you're suing him about on this loan and insurance payment.
All right. In June in 2019, he asked me to borrow $3,000 for the purchase of a
When did you all break up?
2013. We didn't
Okay.
talk for a while, and then we became friends.
Did he tell you he loves you as an ex?
Nope.
I do.
All his other exes, Or the ex that happened to call that day, But when you called me, he doesn't say that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. So he asked for a loan. Did you grant it to him?
It was a verbal agreement that it would take a month or so to sell the vehicle, and if there was any difference in the sale of the vehicle, then he would pay back the difference.
Okay, and what has happened?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay, sir, what do you say?
It was more than a verbal agreement. There was an agreement made.
You have that?
I do have the
A written agreement? Very good. You didn't know this existed?
Yes, I did.
Go ahead.
The reason there's no time on there, it was a 99 Suburban with 300,000 miles. There were a lot of new parts, but it would take a lot to get it to sell. My husband, Devin, is a mechanic, and he was doing the work on the vehicle. We also listed a lot of things online as far as what was done to
So
it.
you attempted to sell it.
We did several times. That was a screenshot from one of the.
Is this the market value?
The value
book
was
value?
It was lower than that, but the amount of work, over $5,000 of work, had been placed into it.
All right. So what's your defense, sir?
Well, the vehicle, the last day, which was on September 9th, Devin had taken the vehicle to work, where he works at a shop. On his way home, he got run into by another vehicle. So the truck was totaled. That's the crash report I have here. The vehicle was totaled at that time. The insurance company obviously valued the vehicle at $400.
This is after the agreement.
That's after the agreement.
So why wouldn't you still have to pay? What you're telling me is that you couldn't sell it. Well, the agreement says any deficiency of the value of the loan will be repaid as agreed. Your husband reduced the value.
So he was not at fault. He was not at fault.
Okay, well, whoever is at fault, he certainly had zero to do with it. And it didn't affect your agreement. What affects the agreement is it went down in value.
Defendant Stephen Kaladecker is being sued by his ex, who claims once while on vacation, he walked into the hotel ballroom and caught Stephen finishing up a sex act on another man.
Why does he owe you for an insurance payment?
I
need to leave this weed alone. You can't have talk. Lay off the weed, man. Go ahead.
I agreed to put him and his cars on my insurance because it was a significant deduction in the payment. And I was assuming that the truck was going to be sold in a timely fashion. I figured that everything would kind of fall into place, and it didn't, and literally nothing got paid.
Sir?
I have the bank statement showing the payment of the insurance.
Let's see it. What made you think it hadn't? Because he is showing me a payment, he says.
Because I have a bill right here from Progressive that
Let's see
they
it.
sent me.
Thanks.
Okay, sir, this is very easy. Due date, August 26th. They must not have processed it in time because he shows me a payment on August 16th.
Well, it's on my
$378.
credit now because they dropped my entire policy because of all of this.
He paid him, so you need to go and get it off your credit at the very least. He's paid him, sir. And it appears they just had not, as utilities or insurance companies do, sometimes they don't process their paperwork in time. Your counterclaim for $3,000 for living expenses, how does he owe you?
It was initially 2 days. He contacted me and said, I found a place to live. He was moving from Florida. He got kicked out of his place in Florida. So I said, yes, you can stay with us in consultation with my husband.
Your ex, there you go with them exes again. That's what's getting you in trouble. One ex, you're telling them you love him in front of your boyfriend, and then this ex, you let him move in.
Right.
And think your husband all right with it. He's just trying to be nice and keep peace in the house.
Well, we thought it was 2 days. It ended up being 2 months. He stayed for 2 months, didn't pay a dime. He did not pay.
What was the agreement?
The agreement was 2 days.
Okay, and when he stayed beyond that, what was the agreement on paying?
The agreement on paying was he would help with the bills. He would help with.
There was no set amount?
There was no set
Did
amount.
he ever give you a dime?
I do have a
Did he ever
breakdown.
give you a dime?
No.
Never brought a loaf of bread or milk, anything?
When he came from Florida, he brought a 6-pack roll of
Well, you
toilet
just
paper.
said he didn't. 6-pack. Well,
that
he
was
did
in his
contribute
luggage.
to the household. Brought a 6-pack. What else?
No, toilet paper.
Well, that's
Not
good.
beer,
That's even
toilet
more
paper.
necessary than beer.
But that
Go
was,
ahead.
That was.
You want toilet paper or beer? Which one you prefer?
I'd rather have the toilet paper.
Well, then, he brought it. So he contributed to the household. If there was no agreement, then he doesn't owe. Did you do something to contribute over those 2 months?
I wasn't there for 2 months.
How long were you there? And did you do anything while you were there?
I was there for 3 weeks.
And did you contribute anything?
I did.
What?
Dinner, twice.
In the household?
Yeah.
You bought the food?
Yeah.
And cooked?
No, he cooked.
All right, but you bought the food. That's
Yeah.
contributing. There was no set amount. $3,000 is your judgment. He showed evidence that he has paid the insurance, so you need to follow up with that. Can he have the receipt?
Yes.
So that he can prove to the credit company when it was paid and everything else you need to do. Your claim is dismissed. He did contribute to the household. He brought toilet paper and he brought food. He met the minimum. Have a good day. That's my mistake.
He's a good guy. He really is. We've reconciled many times. I'm sure we'll get through this again if he's willing to do that. But we just need to be more careful with what happens. That's it. That's it.
I wish that you. I get that you go through stuff, but I wish that you would, if you feel that you can't do something, don't try to do it.